This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government.
Hey there, Haunt fans. It's Andrew with Moonboy TV. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what I thought of tonight's premiere episode of The Purge on USA. So, I avoided reading some pre-reviews up until this point. Like, I didn't want any sort of preconceived notions or biases towards the show. The reason for that being, I really liked the first couple movies, and I really hated the last movie. The first Purge was absolute garbage. So I wanted to see, would the new show follow more along the lines of the first two movies, or just be non-stop political grandstanding in your face, nothing to do with the Purge, more about Trump bashing and whatever else they could throw at you. This particular show, I think, did a fantastic job. I look forward to seeing some more episodes to get a better idea of where things are going, but really did a good job with not only setting things up for the Purge and giving us like 4 different storylines to follow, but some of the violence and stuff that you would normally see in a Purge show, you can't really do that on network television. And I think USA is not necessarily network, but it's not quite like a Starz or an HBO or anything like that. So yeah, I think they did the violence well. They did some introductions to 4 main storylines. One of them is going to be a guy who is looking for his sister to save her because he's been in the Marines, and he's now back from deployment, and he doesn't know where she's at. She was a troubled youth apparently, and now she's missing. So the second storyline would be where that girl is, his sister. She is currently in a kind of a Purge cult where they give themselves over to the Purge so that others can cleanse themselves of their hate and their violence. And this is supposed to let them go to the invisible, whatever that is. But I don't really know what's going on with that cult, but there's a lot of these kids who are just really happy to give themselves over, and it's kind of creepy. It's just, I'm wondering what kind of drugs they're feeding the kids to make them so mellowed out about it, and what kind of mind washing or brainwashing has been taking place with these kids. And I'm really excited to see kind of who is the charismatic cult leader that's swaying all these people. They haven't touched on that yet, but I suspect they will, because there's no way that kids just decide, yeah, I'm just gonna get on a bus and unload myself in the middle of the Purge and let people kill me. That doesn't happen. So then there's another storyline where there's a young couple who are, just your regular middle-class couple, and they're looking to get into this high dollar kind of party from the new founding fathers. And what I mean is it's like the elites. So they're down here, but the elites are way up here, and they're part of the political party, the elites. So they're called the new founding fathers, and so they get invited to this party, and they think, this is our chance. We're going to get in with them. They're going to give us some funding for our project that we want to do, and we don't know where that story's going to go, but they do flash back a few times to these people's past, and you do see some really interesting 3-way sex scenes that were really pretty racy for being on a kind of a network TV show. They got real close to showing you all the goods. I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised. And the last storyline that they kind of introduce you to is a young woman who is like a businesswoman, and she's for some reason needs to work an all-nighter on Purge Night, and so does her whole office. And so they're all deciding, it's a good idea, let's stay at work tonight and just make somebody else money. Who does that? Who risks their life for a crappy job? I don't know. But that's probably the least compelling storyline so far. But I'm looking forward to seeing where they all go and how they make at least that last one a little bit more compelling. Like I said, they did a really good job with the horror. It's interesting. You know, you can't show too much on a channel that has regular commercials, things like that. So they did a really good job of hiding it in one scene. The brother, who's looking for his sister, he's driving down through town, and it's nighttime. The purge just started, and so he puts on some night vision goggles, and he's looking around, and he sees a lot of people doing things. But you know how night vision is; it's kind of weird. It's not the FLIR infrared stuff. It's your typical like gray, green hues and stuff like that. And you know, he sees people getting dragged down the street and all this kind of nonsense, but it's kind of grainy, and you know how night vision is, so you don't get to see the gory details, but you've got a really good idea of what's going on. And I thought that was a pretty clever way of obscuring the gorier side of things, and it didn't detract from the story at all. I think that you don't always need the in-your-face murder porn stuff. You don't have to see it all. It's fun to see every once in a while, but this show did a really good job so far of keeping me engaged and interested, and I'm looking forward to seeing a few more episodes, because maybe the first episode's great, but the next few are horrible. Who knows? It's kind of how the movies went. You know, the first couple were great, and then the second two were not so great. We'll see if the pacing keeps up, if the storylines progress, but I like the fact that they've decided to experiment with a long format storytelling where we could really have a reason to care about the people in this purge, because in the previous movies you didn't really have much of a reason to care. Like, you've got an hour and a half with these people and there's chaos going on everywhere. And you want to see cool stuff, so it's like, let them all die, who cares? Maybe in this 10-hour series that'll change, and you'll have a reason to care, or at least root for them to purge the people that they want to purge, instead of just saying, well, it's pandemonium, kill everyone. Anywho, I really liked it. I think it's worth a watch. So that is my first impressions of The Purge. Did you like it? Did you watch it? Let me know in the comments below, because I really enjoyed it. So if you didn't, tell me why. Do you think it's going to be horrible like the first Purge, or did you really like the first Purge? If you did, keep your comments to yourself. You're a horrible human being. But yeah, go ahead and shoot me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great night. Thanks.